Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bragaton. Let's see if we can find Elan's ring.
Something over there.
I'm gone.
We're finally here. Elan and Carl must be around here somewhere, and Janet too. They gave her permission to leave. Ah, there they are. A greetings, Sela. And greetings to you, Knight Commander. Sir Elan puts his hands behind his back and bows slightly. Then he casts an inquisitive glance at you. He seems less friendly than he was the day you met at the Defender's Heart. Janet puts her hands on her hips. She looks even more dashing than usual. Elan is feeling a little shy. He thought he asked for help from a couple nobodies like us, but now you've turned into the saviors of Canabras, knights of the 5th Crusade, marked by Amade's blessing. And you still came to help him dig through a pile of junk. Haha. Sela frowns a little. Let's not talk about it. I assure you, I'm the same Sela, your friend from the League of the Cart. We came here to help you look for Elan's ring. By the way, where's Curl? He didn't come with us. He said an old wound was acting up. Alright, my friends. Since we're here, let's finish this mission quickly. I really don't feel comfortable bothering the Knight Commander with my personal problems. What does the ring look like, and where should we look for it? The last time I saw the ring, it was with my things in my traveling chest. Now the camp's in total disarray. I don't know how we'll ever find it. The ring is made of a shiny silver metal, with a deep blue-green jewel. You can't miss it. Master Derek is not just a jeweler, he's an artist. There's no mistaking one of his creations. A trinket worth several months' pay, Elan. The rules on the surface are insane. You should give your girls fried rats like we do. And you'd save yourself a lot of trouble. Is there something wrong, Elan? Am I making you nervous? The young knight is obviously embarrassed. I apologize. Jenna is right. Much has changed since we met in Canabras. Some things for the better, some not at all. He stops short, apparently unwilling to elaborate. Alright, off we go. Jenna and I will look around the northern side. We'll see you when we find something, or when we give up trying.
The inheritor.
There's something
Guide
here.
my blade.
You crossed the wrong mongrel.
I know they weren't bothering anybody.
We do it my way.
If they weren't worth experience, I wouldn't bother them either.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
They really have no one to blame but themselves.
Follow if you dare.
The ground is trampled, and there are signs of battle everywhere. The Houndhearts were clearly attacked by demons here.
The world has suffered enough.
Call me again if you need to.
Torn flag of the Houndhearts, a small but noble order of Crusaders. A piece of an antique ring. A fragment of a gold ring broken into pieces. Mysterious runes adorn the inside of the antique piece of jewelry, perhaps once imbuing it with one or more powerful spells. A true antiquities expert could reveal more about this ring. That is not the ring we're looking for here, but it's a really good find nonetheless. A small quasit demon emerges from the chest. It looks at you angrily, screwing up its ugly little face. It is holding a shiny object in its paws. A sparkling silver ring with a large blue-green jewel. It's mine. Mine. Elan, look. Look at that creepy thing. What's it holding? I've seen one of those before. These small demons like to tease and bully, but it'll bolt if it senses any real threat. Let's surround it and attack all together, before it can figure out what's happening. Mine. The quasit throws its paws in the air and splashes you with beams of color. You hear insolent giggling. The demon is jumping up and down, throwing the ring into the air and catching it. Mine. Mine. Elan, Janna. Sela glances at her friends, then turns to you. They're alright. They'll come round soon. Quickly, Donald. Let's catch the little rascal before it runs off with the ring.
I'm off.
Mine. The ring is mine. You can't catch me, silly weak human. I quickly follow that wretch. He can't have gone far.
I do what I must.
Come and get me. You're too slow. It's fun to play.
I'm gone.
Give me the ring, you scoundrel. Before Elan manages to get to the quasit, Halfling Curl appears right next to it, quite out of nowhere. He snatches the ring from the demon's paws. You mustn't get it. Curl, what are you... Thrusting herself between Elan and Curl, Sela barely manages to absorb the blow aimed at the halfling. Elan, stop. Have you gone mad? He's using a summon spell. Why did you stop?
We won't fall here. I swear
Lovely
it.
prey has just stepped into my trap. No. Elan, Sela, help. Darn it. I didn't sign up for this. Get ready. We're on our own now.
Into the fray!
Cover me, all right?
Don't hold back!
Begone, fiend! You won't survive me. Endure this! Fall!
Elan, what were you doing? Nearly cut down Curl. Without a second thought, without a trial, without even knowing if he was responsible for all of this. He might be a victim himself. What am I doing? He lured us into a trap. Curl was the only one who knew where we were going. He knew we thought there wouldn't be anyone at the camp besides some small harmless demons, so he set a trap. I wouldn't be surprised if his demon masters had him targeting the commander from the start. Talk about believing in the redemption of scoundrels. Elan scoffs. We barely know anything about what happened. Curl was a good lad. He's not a spy or a murderer. Maybe they threatened him, tricked him, or even bewitched him with demon magic. And now we'll never know because you let him escape. Better to let a thief escape than cut down an innocent. You two need to calm down. You're both right in your own way. And anyway, what's been done can't be undone. We're lucky no one died in today's little brawl. Who knows where Sela's naivety may one day lead you. You hear me, sister? You're not just another knight. Whatever you do may have terrible consequences. You clearly have something to say. Go ahead then. Spit it out. Sela, I didn't want to say this. I think of you as my friend, so I'm going to warn you. After what happened at the Great Garrison, you're in serious danger. And maybe not just you. You might like to ignore military hierarchy and the rules of knightly orders, but there's wisdom in them that has stood the test of time. A soldier rises from a private to an officer. A knight begins as a squire. Even Iomede's paladins gain their abilities gradually. But not with you and the commander. You're granted incredible powers, far surpassing seasoned paladins with experience and skill far beyond your years. You received this gift at just the right moment, that saved a lot of lives across Mendev. That's a great deed that will be remembered for ages to come. But what happened next was wrong. They began to worship you. The Queen gave you such vast power. And while you sidestepped everything, training, experience, hardship, this is not the first time Her Majesty has behaved rashly. And how much good has this brought Mendev? I'm frightened by what I see, especially by the way that you, Seela, trust people so easily and leap into adventures without looking. One day you'll lower your sword, when you should have driven the blade home. Just like thousands of bright-eyed youngsters will after you. Elan pauses, as if reluctant to continue, then looks you in the eye. I wanted to tell you the same thing, Commander. You're right to an extent, Elan, but I didn't choose my lot. I'm just trying to fulfill my duty as best I can. As best as I can. The knight lowers his head. I apologize for my harsh words. I said it to Seela, and I'll say it again. This wasn't a reproach, but a warning. The power you've been given, it may be your undoing, and the undoing of all the Crusaders along with you. Don't be afraid of what's new and unknown. We just need to bear in mind our responsibilities. Whatever was given to us, we can use it for good. In any case, forgive me for wasting your time, and subjecting you to danger here. Now at least we know that Curl is a traitor, and Janna is a coward ready to abandon her friends when the going gets rough. I hope we'll all learn a lesson from these mistakes. As for that blasted ring, to hell with it. Janna won't love me solely for the gifts I bring her. Elan makes no attempt to conceal his disappointment. Nodding goodbye, he lowers his head and walks away. Seela watches as he leaves. Her expressive eyes are filled with sadness. Everything's become very complicated all of a sudden. Please, Donald, let's go back. And I'd like to talk to you about it, later. I have a lot to think about.
We do it my way. Follow if you dare.
Pretty good, aren't I?
I'm off.
Now this tent is different from the rest. There's a strong burnt smell around it, and a rustling sound coming from within. The tent has been cut open from the inside. The knights apparently left it in a hurry.
I do what I must.
My will is resolute.
I found something.
Alright, found two unique items here. We got the Hat of Heartening Song. Whenever the wearer of this hat uses any song, the song also grants fast healing fast healing 1 at level 1, fast healing 2 at level 5, and increasing by 1 point every 4 levels thereafter. This is pretty good in the early game, but later on you get a universal fast healing effect, so it doesn't scale well, because fast healing effects don't stack. Like most similar effects don't stack throughout the entire game, so like the same bonuses don't stack, fast healing doesn't stack. Typically damage reduction doesn't stack with a few exceptions. We also got Divine Protector. This +2 Mithril Heavy Shield grants its wielder DR5 except against magic. That's a straight upgrade for Seela. I don't put a lot of stock into damage reduction, because typically don't have the health for it to really matter anyway. But there are some exceptions to that, because they've added... I don't remember if it's 3 or 4 means of stacking damage reduction.
Strike!
And if you go the Legend Mythic path, you can get 500 plus health. So, between all the stacking damage reduction, and one of those items that gives stacking damage reduction also gives you 25% damage reduction on top of that. So you can make a proper health tank in this game.
We do it my way.
And that 500 plus health that I got in the Legend Mythic path, Constitution wasn't one of my primary attributes. You put even more points into it if you wanted to. Alright, let's go talk to Sela. We'll rest up, and we should be able to manage the Crusade after that.
Follow if you dare.
Sela looks sad and pensive. It's good to see you. Get this. Janna, the one who ran away when we were attacked by demons, never went back to her unit. She's seen running toward Numeria. Looks like she deserted. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to talk about. Or not the only thing. Since our raid on the Houndhearts camp, I've had the sinking feeling that I made a mistake. Dragging you into this, I mean. I should have known that a raid along the edge of the world wound wouldn't be so easy. But mostly, I was wrong about a lot of people. About Janna, who lost her nerve and abandoned her friends. About Curl. I knew he was a thief, but I really thought he turned over a new leaf and deserved a little compassion and trust. And Elan. I thought we were kindred spirits, friends through thick and thin. It looks like I was wrong about him too. Sela looks at you closely, waiting for your answer. Don't lose your trust in people, Sela. So what if you made a few mistakes? It's no reason to give up on your ideals. Somebody has to show people that there's a better path. Sela's expression brightens. Thank you, my friend. I needed that support. She sighs. Thanks for listening to my grumbling, and for helping me get to the bottom of this. I'm not going to leave things as they stand. If I get the chance, I'll track down Janna, see if I can talk some sense into her, and find out why Curl did what he did. I can't stop thinking about what Elan told me in the end. I really have become more powerful than paladins who are far more experienced and selfless than me. There's something not right about it. A servant of Iomedae should gain their powers through dedicated personal effort. It's the only way to make sure they'll use the power for good. Our journey so far, it's all wrong. It means I need to be 3 times as hard on myself now. So, most people think that we got our powers from Iomedae. So, it's odd that Sela's saying this, but it does tie into where our powers actually come from. I guess you could take that as a little bit of foreshadowing.
I'm off.
Alright, so he has some new stuff here. So, Robe of Inevitability. This robe grants the wearer a +2 bonus to spell penetration. This is really good. Veteran's Armor. This +2 padded armor grants the wielder 10 resistance against fire and electricity. Like Ghosting. Whenever the wielder this +2 keen sight confirms a critical hit with it, they're affected by the equivalent of the invisibility greater spell for 1d3 rounds. Dissolution. Whenever the wielder this +2 corrosive Tongi confirms a critical hit with it, the weapon deals additionally 2 acid damage until the end of combat. This effect stacks. That's pretty cool. Now let's grab the Lesser Extend Metamagic Rod. A Hazard. Whenever the wielder this +2 Sling Staff lands a hit with it, the enemy must pass a Reflex saving throw DC 14, or suffer a random penalty of -1 to Will, Reflex, or Fortitude saving throws until the end of combat. This effect stacks.
My sword is an extension of my arm. My sword is an extension of my arm. So, is my plumage an extension of my head? Focus, Sela.
I do what I must.
I could have grabbed that robe as well. Probably give that to Ember. The commander becomes host to an anomalous force, and his dreams are filled with strange visions. He feels the space around him distort, and his sensory organs are flooded by false images, bred by distortions of light and air. Reality itself tries to expel the commander to some dark tunnel. At the other end, a grim figure awaits. His body resists this crude attempt to wrench it from reality, but the unknown force finds a tangle in the commander's soul, one made of demonic rage and destructive desire. The stranger grabs at it and pulls, like a hunter reeling in a harpoon. Troubled by the sudden intrusion, the dark and ominous force deep in the commander's soul answers with a menacing growl. The commander... Interesting. I take comfort in the knowledge that he is a human, immortal, and no one could ever break the will of his stubborn species. Let's actually do this first. I stares intently at the ghostly figure. The darkness conceals the stranger's appearance. Staring at the dark figure, the commander feels himself involuntarily leaning toward it. The attraction increases. Tries to understand what's going on. However, the commander has never encountered anything like this before. He takes comfort in the knowledge that he is a human, immortal, and no one could ever break the will of his stubborn species. By force of will, the commander pushes his anger down, as deep in his soul as he can. The attraction rapidly weakens in response, as if the mysterious enemy can no longer sense the commander and concentrate its efforts on him. The apparition recedes, leaving the commander wondering whether it was reality or a nightmare. Crusader unit advancing north encountered a cultist band and eliminated it. The Servants of the Abyss had been transporting prisoners of war to Dresden, the remains of the garrison from Villareth Ford, which had been captured by the demons. Exhausted and wounded, the warriors adamantly refused to depart for the relative safety of Canabris, and instead asked to join the commander's forces. A squad of Crusaders was caught in a sudden storm from the west. It lasted only a few minutes, but the unnatural lightning made up of electricity, flames, acid, and ice left several soldiers dead. These with which the forces of nature brutally claimed the lives of their comrades, as demoralized the Crusaders. The outpost at Villareth Ford, which straddles the West Selland crossing it, is of strategic importance, has been taken. The cultists are destroyed, and the commander's army is able to operate on both sides of the river. Nice, as soon as Shy leveled up, so you can get Master Maneuver 2 here. I think if we were a Martial General, that'd be our priority, but as a Caster General, Spellcraft is better. So the General has a +4 bonus to power per level of this feat. So his offensive spells, well, this will do more damage. I don't remember if Bless, I don't think Bless scales with this. I think it's just a +1 to everything. It's a set value. A corpse in a tattered scout's cape bearing the emblem of the Crusade was leading the undead squad. He battled on until he ran out of bolts, and desperately tried to conceal his crossbow with his own body, even when the soldiers were hacking off his limbs. And we got the Crossbow of Judgment. This +2 heavy crossbow has a critical range reduced to 20. Whenever it threatens a critical hit against an evil or chaotic creature, it is automatically confirmed. A +2, we also leveled up here. I'll probably give that to Ember. Yeah, let's go and level up. Alright, so main character, we get a feat, we get an additional use of Smite Evil, and that is it. Athletics and Persuasion. And Cornigan Smash. When you damage an opponent with a power attack, you may make an immediate Persuasion Intimidate check as a free action to attempt to demoralize your opponent. It's pretty great. And more spells. Alright, Sela. Same stuff. Let's go do trickery here. Because we will need a trickery character come, well, here very shortly, actually. I don't really want to bring Camellia with me. Here, do we have, let's see, we have missile shield, armor focus, shield focus. I was thinking about taking 5 levels of Tower Shield Specialist on Sela, just to mix her up for my main character. But I may not. Oh, I should be doing outflank here anyway. Well, at the very least, she'll get it. I give it to the rest of my characters, then my main character will get it in 2 levels. So outflank. Whenever you and an ally who also has this feat are flanking the same creature, your flanking bonus on attack rolls increases to +4. In addition, whenever you score a critical hit against a flanked creature, it provokes an attack of opportunity from your ally. It is one of the best feats in the game. Gives you a bonus to your attack rolls, and more free attacks if you land a critical hit. Alright, low religion and perception. And lore nature. Outflank. Oljif will continue a Sword Saint, so here he gets Magus Arcana. As he gains levels, Magus learns arcane secrets tailored to a specific way of blending martial puissance and magical skill. Starting at 3rd level, Magus gains 1 Magus Arcana. He gains an additional Magus Arcana for every 3 levels of Magus attained after 3rd level. Unless specifically noted on a Magus Arcana's description, a Magus cannot select a particular Magus Arcana more than once. And a feat, of course. So, trickery, perception, twice, stealth. Outflank. And, that's actually pretty interesting. I like arcane accuracy as well. But extended magic, let's grab that. The Magus can cast 3 spells per day as if those spells were modified by the extend spell feat. And here we'll just do Snowball and Magic Missile, I guess. Obrig gets a Shifter Claws and a feat. At 7th level, her claw damage increases to 1d6. Fantastic. Athletics, mobility, lore nature, perception. And outflank. So outflank's going to be really good in my current party because we have, what, 5 melee characters? Well, 6 if you include Sunshine. Alright, Lan, what do you get, buddy? A feat. Athletics, mobility, lore nature, and perception. So we could give him outflank as well. With Snapshot. This will be more useful once he's actually mounted on Sunshine, which I haven't been doing yet. I like having the extra body versus having them clustered together. But with Snapshot, we could actually do that. Sculpting the river. I've never seen this before. That's pretty cool. So sculpting the river, I'm not going to grab it, so I'm not going to read it. It might go and do snapshot. So we need this before we take outflank anyway. And make him into more of a melee archer. So then I'm going to have an entirely melee party. Oh boy. Maybe I'll do clustered shots first. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's not a big deal. I can always grab whatever after the fact. Sculpting the river is really good for land anyway, because he'll be mounted, and when you're mounted on your animal companion, attacks against your character will automatically target the animal companion. They don't target your character. In most cases, there's a couple exceptions to that. So this debuff would actually apply to his own tankiness, since he'll be mounted on Sunshine, who will be taking the hits for him. And that -1 penalty on the target's attacks against creatures other than you would apply to Sunshine. So that's actually really good on the Sable Company Marine build. Well, not really good. It's pretty good. Let's go and do clustered shots. Nope. We're going to do snapshot, because I want to get to that outflank build sooner than melee archer build. So snapshot. While wielding a ranged weapon, you threaten an area within your melee reach. You make attacks of opportunity with that ranged weapon. You now provoke attacks of opportunity when making a ranged attack as an attack of opportunity. Pretty cool. And spells on land. Great. So Bestow Grace is pretty good, as is Aura of Greater Courage. Bestow Grace basically takes the Paladin's Divine Grace and applies it to allies. So with this spell, you can bestow your Divine Grace on another good creature for a short amount of time, if using that creature with a portion of your Holy Virtue. When you touch a subject, you grant that creature a sacred bonus to its saving throws equal to its charisma bonus, if any, on all saving throws. Oh, it's equal to its. I think I've misread that like this entire time. But I think Bull Strength for now. Then Sela can get Aura of Greater Courage. So when you cast a spell, you strengthen your Paladin's Aura of Courage. Until the end of its duration, all allies within that aura are immune to fear, magical, or otherwise. Normally, the aura just provides a bonus to fear saves. If you do not have the Aura of Courage class feature, Aura of Greater Courage has no effect. Fair enough. Then here, we'll probably do another Bless. We could do Shield of Faith. But here it has a deflection bonus, so we cannot. Let's do Bane instead. And here, we'll do Protection from Energy Communal and a Death Ward. Best buff in the level 4 spells, because you don't want your level drained, you don't want your ability scores damaged, or attribute scores damaged. Probably Aspect of the Falcon here. Well, no, Hurricane Bow. Absolutely. Thank you. Increases your damage. Increases the size rating of your weapon. So, Hurricane Bow significantly increases the weight and density of arrows or bolts fired from your bow or crossbow the instant before they strike their target, and then return them to normal a few moments later. Any arrow fired from a bow or crossbow you're carrying when the spell is cast deals the damage as if one size larger than it actually is. For instance, an arrow fired from a medium longbow normally deals 1d8 points of damage, would instead deal 2d6 points of damage if fired from a hurricane bow. So that's really good. Alright, I'm going to call it here, and next time we'll continue exploring this area and managing the Crusade. But for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.